And we're live on a Mars day, full of drive and fire and all that good stuff. I am the hostess with the mostest, the High Priestess Phoenix. I am your spiritual healer, teacher, shaman, seer, oracle, lightworker, starseed, earth angel, mystic, medium, psychic, witch, yogi, guru, evangelist, North American Sybil. I am your messenger of God, the first child of God, the Lilith reincarnated, here on a Tuesday. Got the club going up on a Tuesday, I guess. What's up? We got a bunch of more new people. What's up, new people? I am your guide through the ascension, the divine feminine awakening, where we break apart your feelings and your thoughts one by one. How do I do that? I break apart mine, and you use it to reflect on your own self-healing journey. Ta-da! I give you all of the good stuff. I go through all the hard work and teach you how to do it in hopes that you can do it better. Here comes Nate Dogg. Nobody does it better. Alright, so in order to keep up with me, you would have to seen the video, my live video prior to this. Whatever I posted on my community page. Oh, we're going to talk about that right now. And my latest short. Let's see, what are we going to talk about first? Let me get something to drink here. We're going to talk about, I posted something called the last meeting theory. It's just this whole thing, and it says that when you fulfill a contract with a person, the universe makes sure that you never meet that person again. And the crowd goes wild. I'm a walking testimony to that. Once you fulfill a contract, they're gone. Out of your life forever. This is a good teaching for you guys as humans and your attachment issues. I've had way too many lives to count. Integrated, I'm at like 13. I think I have 13 lives integrated right now, meaning 13 of my past lives are currently present. Memories, the whole fucking shebang is all inside of this body. Let's start with something that Morgan said a while back, and I made a video behind it. Not all people are replaceable. Who's irreplaceable? Who are you waiting to see on the other side? When my mom died, before I had the memories of what my mom was, I lived in a freaking fabricated world of, locked away all those memories of what she had done to me. But before that, I had looked forward to dying so that I could see my mom again one day. Interesting as that may be. I've had a lot of lives, and I have a soul tribe that travels with me from life to life. But the attachment of life during life is not really going to get you too far. If you think about it, in all my lives, all the people I called family, I called friends, the people that were my lovers in all those lives, where are they now? A few of them are here, but they treat me like garbage. They act like I don't even exist, even though I know every single thing about them. Make these promises to find each other in the future. Pray to God that one day you'll see them again. One day you'll be back together. Then it happens, and it's just a weird meeting in time. You're two strangers again. Who's irreplaceable in your life? There's some really amazing souls. Thinking of Mr. Plum, number one. But as soon as I thought of him, I thought of Stan Lee. And then you think about my soul tribe. There's a lot I'm about to unleash on here with this one. Let's start with the fact that you're gonna get your feelings hurt fucking with me. You're gonna get your fucking ego hurt fucking with me. I'm gonna rock your reality. And there's nothing about that. I'm going to be the most important person you probably ever meet in this lifetime. Someone you'll never, ever, 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 ever forget. You'll tell stories about me, that you knew me. And that's cool. Will I know you? Will you have that same impact on me? There's people in my past that supposedly were so important to my life. When I first woke up, I started to panic. I started thinking about my mom, my biological family. I started thinking about my husbands, my children, friends. Where were they all? Where were all these people that meant so much in my life? I went looking for them, which was the biggest mistake. By that time, I had already learned my lesson that these were bad people and I had cut myself off. But when I woke up, I didn't have the memories of that. So I had to go back and relearn these fucking lessons about these horrible people in my life. That was my karma, I suppose. Some people are born into loving families. And they have real close ties. Is there somebody in this world that you wouldn't want to give up and you couldn't replace? There's nobody like them. Going back to what Morgan said, she said some people are irreplaceable. And she had really put me in my place because I treat people absolutely disposable. Why? Higher understanding. At this point in my life, until I'm healed, and that's the same for you, all you're doing is calling in lessons. If I push away this motherfucker, I'm still gonna learn the lesson in another motherfucker. That's how it's so disposable. You're gonna teach me something that the last guy couldn't have taught me. I learned that. You can't run away from your lessons. They'll come back.
It's the whole West Coast has a tsunami.
Yeah, I know. God's like totally unleashing all wrath. I already told you, it was in the cards like last week. He was unleashing fire, all kinds of destruction. I'm not worried. Are you worried? Maybe you should be. Pray for your loved ones and all that good shit. What can they do? Pray. That's all they can do. And what happens if they die? They meet the Creator. What happens to us? Life goes on. They leave. We're the ones stuck with the mess. That's so insensitive. I mean, I'm the one stuck here living. Hawk and Kobe and everybody else is living it up. I'm still stuck here living for a long time. So let's go back to a couple things here. Christ accepts you how you are. He loves you. God loves you the way you are. Christ is all forgiving. All of them are that. Let's talk about me. I am the goddess of hell. I was, at once, very loving and kind and all that. It's in me. But in this lifetime, I am all the dark goddesses. I'm cold. I'm isolated. I'm reserved. I'm that wicked witch. I have a dark sense of humor. I hide in the woods. I am exactly as God made me. Now, there's many people that will love you and accept you as you are. I've learned to love and have understanding and compassion and forgiveness for what you are. But I don't accept you as this. I want you to understand something. It's me and Pac and Kobe. That's the three that you're dealing with when you come to me. Okay? With that understanding of who they were and enough of, watching me, you should know this. We demand excellence. We have no time or sympathy for lazy, incompetent people. We believe in success. We know it can be achieved by hard work. We give you the tools of how to do it with the slightest bit of hope that you will execute properly. We're running a loser spiritual boot camp here with the hopes. We're waiting for 144,000 to come through. We've yet to see them peek their heads. This is not for the faint of heart. Not for those that are weak in the mind, those that live in denial, those that have this overblown sense of self, that think they don't need to be any better, those that can't take constructive criticism, that don't want to succeed, that don't want to break the rules and be more than what they're coming in as. It's an energy that circles between us three, but it's just really what we're created of. We're a warring force. We're warriors. We're creating God's army over here. And as I said before, you're going to get your feelings hurt fucking with me. Playing games with me is you playing games with yourself. I'm not playing games with nobody. Right? So, let me explain how that works. I get a lot of these people that think that, they're going to run some game on somebody. And the only one they're running games on is themselves, because they're exhibiting childhood patterns, survival patterns that are going to get them absolutely nowhere spiritually. They might get them somewhere in the material world as they're manipulating people and lying and cheating, but spiritually it's going to get you nowhere, right? So a lot of people try to play egotistical games in the sense of, that's not me, or you have no power, or I'm going to outthink her, or something to that extent. You're wasting your own time, not mine. And you're going to get left behind playing games like that. People aren't important until they show that they're, to me, you have to show me that you're important. God makes you important, but you're not important to me. Right? So, why I say all this is, as I made my video yesterday, I noticed how, I hate to say it, the cockroaches fled. What does that mean? I just noticed how they're all hiding now. Right? So, God's not going to let you hide completely. So I went to walk my dog after doing my video earlier. Here comes Morgan walking up. And I just look at her, and I don't say anything. Again, she hasn't returned my calls since yesterday, so she's just walking up. She hasn't been home since yesterday. Didn't see anything. Right? I haven't heard from her all day. Like, okay. And then tonight, again, I'm out there having a cigarette, and here she comes walking up. She doesn't say anything to me. Okay. I'm not going to say anything either. Two can play this stupid game of whatever you're doing right now. But when you want to speak, will I listen? And that's what I mean is, I'm forgiving to whatever you're going through, but you're going to have to go that way with that shit. And that's what it is. In a glimpse, God will give you a glimpse. He gives you warning before the bells really go. You know what I mean? He gives you some slight warning. Like for whatever the fuck is, all this natural disasters and shit. He told us what was happening. Are you scared? I'm not scared. In the essence, I'm all protected. I have to continue this journey for 55 years. The weather is not going to be in my motherfucking way. Just saying, if you're looking for good weather, stay close. I saw that too. It was supposed to be like a heat wave across America, and we're getting like rain and good weather. I just want to say that is like, all these guys thought they'd play games and they just got played. They played themselves. And it's, I don't have to see it, but it's all out there. It's like you're never going to ever in your entire lifetimes, in all your lifetimes, meet another me. I am the divine feminine. You'll never meet another divine feminine if it's not bred from me. Now who are you? And that's that Kanye thing. There's 1,000 yous. But I swear to God, there's only one of me. So I go back to the original question. Who's irreplaceable? In all my lifetimes, and all of the people I've seen in all my lifetimes, all the peoples I called brothers and sisters and lovers and mothers and fathers of all my lifetimes. Who is here in this lifetime? Who's here in the end? Remember that. When your life is over, it's just you. They won't be there. They won't be there when you meet the Creator, and they won't be there in the next life. And if they are, they'll play a shit-ass role. There is your karma. The only reason my twin flames are here is because I had to reclaim my power. I was powerless to the love that I had for these men in previous lives. Do you know that story? Shiva tamed the beast. My love for Shiva brought us back together in this life. That's some bullshit. That's some motherfucking bullshit. My love for Adam brought us back together in this life. That's some fucking bullshit. My love for Lucifer has me bound to this motherfucker in this life. That's some fucking bullshit. My loyalty to Osiris has me bound to him in this fucking life. That's some fucking bullshit, bro. That's some fucking bullshit. What do I need to do so that I don't have to keep following them around in lives? I need to let them go. I didn't let them go in other lives. Obviously, I brought Osiris back to life. I spent fucking how long chasing fucking Adam. And while doing so, in the pits of hell with Lucifer. What a loser, right? Talk about a side chick. He knew that I loved Adam and would do anything to curse him with me just so he could have my attention. What a loser. I'm just saying, you guys' attachment to these people, they're fucking nobodies. They're fucking nobody. In a blink of an eye, you won't even fucking remember the skeleton they wore. They're fucking nobody. And before you know it, you'll be with a whole new family of fucking nobodies. Tied to a bunch of new fucking nobodies. Promise you. Haven't you seen the pattern? It's an energy, not a person. It's an energy that you're attracting, bro. It's not a person. What's the energy? Fucking karma. 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 Everyone that comes in, bro, brings you what? Hard fucking lessons, bro. They teach you some fucked up lessons. Leave you all fucked up and shit. Make you have to rebuild your life after they leave and shit. You don't get the fuck out of my life. But then they do. They go away. So then you got like Hades, right? Like Wolfman. It was an inner feeling to submit to him. I questioned it, I fought it, but when I went with it, and I was nice, and I was respectful, and I gave him authority, and I opened my heart, and I opened my church to him. I gave him, you know what I mean? I submitted as told. It went away. That's how most of them did. All I had to do was what my heart said. Couldn't do. And then it was free. And I finally saw Bobby, dude. I was free. I no longer needed that. It's funny because they say, like, I can see magnetize yourself. She says you have unfinished business. Who, they do? I wouldn't have been set free if I didn't finish the job. They wouldn't let me free. The Holy Spirit wouldn't let me free. I would cry, I would beg, I would do magic. Anything to break free from these men and the feelings and the lessons they were teaching me. But then when I submitted and I just loved them and I learned the lessons, I accepted what they were here to do. That they were here nothing more than to teach me about myself. Then it wasn't so painful and I understood the connection. And it had no more power over me. I learned how to use the power of the connection. In essence, Russ thinks he's using me for creativity. He's trying to write a song about what I wrote what I said yesterday. Not being ready to fall in love and having a true connection. He don't understand that, or maybe he's going to learn one day. It's not lust and lies. It's love and truth. It can't be real if you can't be truthful. None of your relationships are real because they're not based on truth. You can't truly be honest with each other. So it's not an honest relationship between each other. You have secrets. You keep secret freaking messages, and you have friends, and you have locks on your phones, and you have secrets from each other. You live lies to each other and to everybody else. These pretend that you're happy and that you made it and you got what you wanted, but then you covet other people that look happy. A lot to be said. I just realized that, I'm coming to a close of things, and I'm really coming to a huge close of things, and it's just that. It's like, what do you take with you when it's all done? You don't take people. You hardly take memories. You take the lessons that you've learned. That's what they want to hear about when you get on the other side. What did you learn? If you learned nothing, then you must come back and learn. There's so much to learn. This is a school. How to harness God's power and be a good person. It sounds so simplistic, but it's not. Given the circumstances, it's very much not. Well, with that being said, I really don't know where to go with this. I guess we could just do a spiritual growth, which by the time I pull the cards, they're nothing more than confirmation to whatever the fuck I was just talking about. I just look at it this way, I look back. It's like, you can see it. You can see when things are coming to an end. Like, whatever is happening right now between me and Morgan, there's a separation happening. There's a separation, not just her, but with me and everyone again. I'm being separated again. And then you look at it, and it's like, you just see why. Or I do. I remembered his name. His name was Ray. Ray was my good friend the whole time that I was living out of my car, until I got here. And when I got here, he wasn't happy for me. He said something fucking racist about the Venezuelans. And I talked shit to him, and I hung up on him, and I never talked to him again. And I had used that story, and it's like, how could he be so... Our time was done. Again, you'd have to watch those stories to notice that I started to see the red flags with Ray too. He wasn't happy for me. He wasn't happy for my success. He wasn't happy for me to start, you know what I mean? He liked that I was helpless and hopeless and dependent. And as I started to gain that, you know what I mean? My Holy Spirit was telling me to get away from him. That he was becoming, you know what I mean? Possessive, if you will. You know, and just like this, it's like they start to show you that this is no good anymore. And it's nothing you did, but you can be like, well, no, I want to, and all I can do is like, if I don't accept it now, then I'm going to try to rekindle it, act like, you know, sweep it under the rug that this didn't happen, and then wait for the next time it happens. And now it's become a pattern of broken boundaries and acceptance around broken boundaries. Can it be resolved by a conversation? Yeah, but it comes with constructive criticism, and she doesn't handle well with that. In the essence, it's like, this could be talked out, yeah. You know, I saw what you did, and I don't like this. But then as I start firing off all the things I don't like, don't you think she's going to feel very attacked? Indeed. So why attack her? Just let it be. I mastered a detachment. It wasn't easy to get to a place like this where I don't cry about every goodbye. Because I did. I cried real hard about every goodbye. I would get very attached to, you know what I mean? I stayed at Chris's house there for like 10 months. I didn't even see it coming. I knew that he was going to sell the house eventually, but I literally didn't see it coming that weekend. Something just said something, and this guy said something, and it was time to go. And just like that, it was shattered. You know what I mean? Like Mr. Plums, just like that, it was shattered. I was getting really close and comfortable with Amanda. Just like that, shattered. It just shatters in your hands, whether you said or did anything or not. Simple things like standing up for yourself. That's it. That's mostly what gets me and ends all my relationships. If you really want to know the truth, and if you want, you can scroll through the last year, just on the Insta or on YouTube. When I stand up for myself and say enough is enough, and I don't like this behavior, and I don't like how you're acting, and I don't like how you're talking, then I no longer have friends. Oh, maybe it's your approach. Maybe. And then I think about Russ and Cass. Something simplistic like, bro, last time he didn't wear deodorant, can you please address that with him? Oh, we don't believe in that, and I'm sorry that our smells offended you, and forget it, we don't need a ride from you. And then they never talked to me again, which made me realize they were only using me for rides. That was nice. That was nice. I spent 2 years running from facing Bobby. I finally face him. And he just disappears like I was nothing. Now, what's funny is, it's like, okay, I learned my lesson. That was cool. That was a harsh lesson. I got it. And then I move on. And I don't have to worry about another person teaching me that lesson again. Because I've learned it. I learned it the hard way, and it fucking sucked. Now, if you don't take your lessons, you're going to end up facing them again. Either with that exact same person, or with someone else. It's going to come back to you. And so, you know, all these people that are here, they're contracted here under God's authority to teach me my karma. Right? They're just here as part of my karma, as part of this play. They're CPUs, if you will. You know, they make an impact on my life. But we realize that this is just their behaviors, and we learn compassion, understanding, and forgiveness for shit-ass people. I have to, you know what I mean, overcome shit-ass people, left and right. Because, why? Because those type of people I would have destroyed in previous lives. I have to learn to be Christ-like. I have to learn to love the things I hate. Stuff like that. Then when it's done, it's done. After you learn the lesson, it's like you're literally so set free from the bullshit. Where it's like there's no, in some cases, no memories. You know, my whole family and all that, they're gone. I have no desire, I don't be like, ever. Yeah, I guess you would have to have memories to, you know what I mean, to be nostalgic. You'd have to have a memory or a vision of somebody to actually miss them. No, not at all. And if they pop in, I still have a zero feeling towards them. Oh, they're just a basic, you know, flesh bag that I'm not going to waste my time with. My time is my energy, and it's sacred. What I do with it, like this right here, this is what I'm here to teach humanity lessons that I've learned throughout eons of time, so that they can have the understanding that it took me eons of time to understand, right? I'm not going to give that kind of life's work to people that don't even care to listen. And even if they did buy a ticket to the show, that won't use it. Again, you're talking to Kobe and Pac. Why in the fuck are we going to fucking invest in you if you're not even going to use this? No way, bro. No way. We will not do it. Lazy people, stagnant people, no. No. So, not to toot my own horn, but I promise you'll never meet another one like me. And be careful of how you treat me, because you're dealing with a divine being. And you'll get extremely bad karma for how you treat me. Number 1, 2, and 3. And you will seriously regret it for the rest of your fucking life. Because you will not get another chance to cross my path again. The universe will make sure that we never meet again. So make sure you don't fuck that up, okay? And when you're out there being rude and nasty to other people, keep in mind that there's other earth angels out here. There's other divine beings. There's other chosen ones. You better be careful who you step on around here. There's God's kids are running around here left and right, bro, and he doesn't like you mistreating them. They might not be me with all authority that I have, but they're still chosen, and they're still highly favored, and he loves them dearly, and he's not gonna fucking, you know, the only one that spanks his kids is him. Know that. Lucifer ain't out here with that kind of shitty power, and nobody out here allowed to let their wrath go on his children. If that was the case, I'd beat you all. I'd beat the shit out of all of you. Talk about kicking babies. I'd be kicking you in your head. Left and right. Alright. Let's move on. It's just, I've seen it a million times, and it's like, you know, what's that song? My daughter plays it with the cup. You're gonna miss me when I'm gone. You're gonna miss me when I'm gone. And I disappear. I'm an enigma, to be honest. Now you see me, now you don't. In the essence. Alright, let's move on. We're gonna do, Spiritual Growth Spread. Again, this is just going to be confirmation. Unfortunately, I'm still with Metatron, so we don't get to pull any of the cool cards. We got to pull the Quantum Tarot, so we could be learning. Oh, yeah, don't forget, go outside and catch some meteor shower. I don't know if you can see it, but you can feel it, bro. It's fucking energy falling from the sky, dude. Catch some fucking healing, if you will. Please and thank you. Doesn't mean just go outside, bro. Put your hands up in the air like this. Just stand out there and just absorb it, bro. Imagine it. If you can't see it, try to imagine it. Like what fairy does. Fuck. Use your imagination, please. For the love of God. Alright. Yeah, and that's where they get. And then they try to use their mind power to try to figure it out. How am I gonna manipulate this? How am I gonna fix this? You can't. You can't fix it. You don't even know what you did to fuck it up, stupid. Until you realize that how you fucked it up, you could never fix something that you fucked up. The problem is you don't even realize what you've done until it's too late. Alright, where are we at? Ew. Five of Pentacles. I feel like we keep pulling this bitch-ass card. Can I have another bitch-ass card? Yeah, they're in order. No way, bro. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. I need to, like, super shuffle. I forgot what happened, but that still shouldn't be happening. Really? Yeah, I don't really shuffle like this, but now they got me pissed off. Because I'm tired of seeing the same ass cards. I even put those away. I'm like, no, I don't want to see those fucking bitch ass cards. I don't give a shit who's in their fucking Five of Pentacles. Actually, it does make sense. Alright, so, fucking President Trump is a fucking chomper. Fucking chomper. He took away the state's fucking, I mean, he probably did it to your state too. None of you guys know this, but he took all of the supportive fucking services. He took all of the funding away from the counties. So there's no supportive services. What a bastard. Did you know there's no child care assistance? I don't need it, thank God. But I was yelling at the girls that they needed to get child care going. And they needed to fucking get jobs. There's no assistance anymore for that. They're on their own. Until their kids are school-aged. They're stuck on welfare. Perhaps. So that just runs off. Really? Mm-hmm. They took away all kinds of shit. I found that out today. All kinds of shit. I was like, oh my God. In the essence, I don't depend on the government to, you know, so that sucks though, but I know a lot of people do. And that's fucked off, bro. That's some sad shit. In the essence, they had all of these supportive services, wraparound services to help people back into their road to independence, and there's none. I had heard the girls talk about it, but I don't know. I found out about that. So I guess it makes sense. Let's try something else, though. Oh, shit. That's pretty interesting. What is that? Probably, I don't know. X marks the spot. Thanks. Very helpful. What is it? Probably fucking the Wheel of Fortune, if I had to guess, just by looking at it, but I don't know the card, so give me a minute. No, it's not that many X's. Yeah, it's the Wheel of Fortune. Quantum mechanics. Quantum mechanics is an attempt to explain seemingly paradoxical nature of subatomic world. Yeah, that's what you're always trying to give me, and it doesn't make sense. There is a fundamental difference between two types of phenomenon, waves and particles. A particle can be, alright, pay attention to this. This is what he's teaching me. Everything is all minimal particles and the micro to the macro. Shut your fucking face right now. Alright, a particle can only occupy a single space at a single instant in time. Waves, on the other hand, are spread out in space, like waves of water across sea. That makes sense, because frequencies are spread out across space and time. We're the particle, but the waves of space, that makes sense. They cannot be pinned down to a particle place or described in terms of size and frequency, like radio waves. And that's it. What are we talking about? Ley lines, the dimensions. They're like waves that you can tap into, literally. And it's like, they're going. That makes perfect sense. But at the subatomic level, this difference between waves and particles does not apply. Subatomic particles sometimes behave like particles and sometimes like waves, depending on how they are observed. For example, light behaves like a wave when two light sources overlap. The two light waves interfere with each other, producing ripples, an interface phenomenon, like overlapping ripples of water in a pond. However, as Einstein pointed out, light can also behave like a stream of tiny particles, photons. He proved this in his explanation of photoelectric effect, an electric current induced by shining light on a metal plate. This can only be possible if light is a stream of particles that hits the surface of a metal, agitating and dislodging electrons from the form of electron current. What does all this have to do with the Wheel of Fortune? Well, quantum mechanics introduces a language of chance and probability into physics. One can only claim that a subatomic particle has the probability of being in a particle place at a particular time, but no more. Outside physics, the concept of chance and probability are nothing new. The wheel is familiar to us in many guises. From ancient Roman, page 23, goddess Fortuna, son of a bitch. In the Russian, or in the roulette wheel, it is a symbol of, I just want to point that out, she's known, Fortuna's known in the quantums. I don't fuck with her. I don't fuck with her. Who's Fortuna? She's fate. I have nothing to do with that, bro. She's an awful stage of the fucking, of the wheel of life. Between, what was it, guys? June 11th to June 24th. Dangerous, bro. What is it? Ups and downs, bro. Ups and downs. Blind faith. It is a symbol of how perceived outside forces such as fate or luck appear to determine the course of our lives. But perhaps there is another alternative. Even if we feel cursed by bad circumstances, we still have choices. Why not step off the wheel altogether? We can decide whether to approach life as a victim of chance, spun around by the wheel like a sock in a washing machine, or take a big leap of awareness and get off the merry-go-round. All around the world, the same song. What's up, Shock G? Obviously that's Tupac too. Oh my god, are you guys gonna remind me about Money B? People don't forget. Alright, I tried to forget. Just forget it, unless you caught that. Well, as we say, as the wheel turns, we're going into a new season, and it is fate and luck. I mean, alright, so here's the deal. And she said that shit to me. She's like, so there's no supportive services anymore. And stopped, she's all the other counties stopped before us, and we got the memo a couple weeks ago. I was like, well, bummer. She's like, what did you need help with? I was like, I needed insurance and tags on my car. She's like, well, send it to me, and we'll see if anything can be done. But you definitely have to send it to me before the 1st, because after that it's going to be impossible. I do know that they're approving some things, so maybe we'll see. I was like, well, let's roll the dice. So I sent it in, and we'll see. It's fate. Either they can help me or they can't. And then when I heard something like that, it's like, you know, I can help myself if you can. God will make sure that I'm protected from the police if I keep riding around like this. He let me ride around like this for like 2 years before this. I'm sure he'll take care of me. You know what I mean? In the essence, but if you can't, then you can't. And so that's where it is. It's like, well, it's up to fate. If they can help me, they can. If they can't, they can't. And that's where it is. It's like you just kind of roll the dice. And if not, if you don't... When things like that happen, when you don't know what you're going to do, your faith must be stronger. Oh, well, God's got a different plan. That's all I said. All right, God's got a different plan. I'm not stressing it. God's got a different plan. He knows that, you know what I mean? He knows what I need. He always answers that need. So I thought they'd be able to meet my need, but if they're not able to meet my need, he'll find another way to meet my needs. And maybe that's not something I need. Who knows? I mean, right now, what do I need? I'm waiting tomorrow to see about approval for my part from somewhere else. And that's what I really need, is that part. If not, then, well, it's all right. I'm not really going to... I don't take on too much. If I sit here and I think about all the things that I don't have control over, I'll get a headache. I'll pass out. I'll get depressed and shit. I know what I don't have control over. I know that God has control over everything. And I know that he'll help me create a way for this. Everything. He's done that since the beginning of this. That knowing comes with experience, tried and tested methods of over 3 years of watching him open doors for me. Create pathways, making sure that I had everything I needed with no money in my pocket. He liked to do that the whole time. Why? Because it was a sense of security having it, right? I talk about it all the time. If you have it, you feel like you're good. He wanted me to make sure that I felt good with nothing before he would ever put anything in my pocket. And I just want to say it again. I looked at my money. I'm like, I'm seriously probably the only person that still has money this close to the end of the month. And that's where it is. It's like, I'm not fucked off. He took care of me in ways, like, he created this problem and then he created a solution. He creates the problem and the solution. You just need to learn the lesson. It's all there. Einstein and all that shit. So, for whatever you guys are going through, he's created a problem for you, I'm sure, but he's also showed you the solution. He's shown you, you know, and that's kind of it. It's like he created some problem between me and my friends, but he's also showed me the solution. Do you know what I mean? It's not necessarily something I like, but it's like you're gonna have to get over it. They're not on your level. Does God ever just tell you that? They're not on your level. You can't just put them on your level. You're gonna be, you know what I mean? You're dragging them on. You're dragging them along. No, but I really like them, God. I just want to take them with me. Where? Where are you gonna fit them? He's so literal with me. We don't play games over here. He talks direct to me because he knows I'll directly talk shit back to him if he doesn't give me the truth. Alright, so where we're at right now is a Wheel of Fortune. It's a roll of the dice. Fortuna, fate, destiny. What's happening right now is meant to be. It's not, you didn't do something to make this happen. It's supposed to be happening right now this way. Now, in our 10-day forecast, we brought in a shadow card. For 10 days. It's in there, bro. 10 days of shadows. Which means if you could do this, if you are new and you can do this, and every day you're facing a dark part of yourself and you're destroying it, you're really breaking down this stuff and you're letting your ego die, then in 10 days time, bro, you're going to be ready to walk through those gates right along with me. You might not be on an elevator, but you get to ride the escalator. Sacrifice, bro. I shared it in my shorts. It's like the most powerful and potent work you can do, and that's what I teach, is work on you. Every day this week, they're going to bring up a harsh memory, a harsh something. Ultimately, what is it going to be? Something you got to leave behind, bro. For 10 days. And that's Fortuna, bro. She'll do it. It's all about fucking letting shit go. At a roll of the dice, just indifference. She teaches you indifference. 1 minute you're up, 1 minute you're down. 1 minute you're up, you don't get excited and you don't get sad. It's about emotional stability during the chaos, during the ride, right? Now, again, if you can do this type of work before that gate opens, it's a spiritual gate where literally it's just this wave that'll come through and weigh everybody's heart. And based on that information, certain things will align for you that weren't going to align for you before. It's opening up doorways for your future. In order to do it, though, you have to clear yourself off. You literally have to have made some serious sacrifices and some serious changes so that you can get, you know what I mean, those new spiritual gifts, powers, and blessings. Otherwise, you're getting more spiritual fucking challenges, trials, and fucking lessons. It's coming. That Lionsgate portal, it's not something you can see. It's something that happens. It's something you can feel. And it's not on 808. It's on 818. So we have 10 days to clean you guys up. I'm trying to think. What's your spiritual work? What can you clean up tonight? Oh, fuck. That's a good one. 8 of Swords. 8 of Swords is a restriction of the mind, thinking that you're bonded to something. You're restricted by circumstance, right? It's a goofy-ass fucking story. It's a Jesus-ass story. I love telling this story. I laugh all the way through it. It's where you think someone's going to come save you. You have this child mentality that, you know, your dad's going to come pick you up on the weekend. Somebody's going to come bail you out of jail. Somebody's going to pay your rent for you. I don't know. You have this idea that somebody outside of you can save you or from this situation. You don't know that it's your situation you need to get out. If you look in the card, there's a person hidden behind those swords. It's you. You've trapped yourself, but it's only in your mind. I'm going to read it in the book, but that's what this is about. Your spiritual work at hand right now is to free yourself. What is it? I gotta say it's your living. If I go back to yesterday's, we pulled the moving card or vacation. Perhaps you're not ready to move. You need to get out for a few days. You need to experience freedom first. Domestic violence, shit like that, it's like we always went back, but maybe you just need to get out first just to feel the freedom. Maybe you're not ready to make full changes, but you need to cut yourself off from some things and take a little staycay or vacay, go stay at mom's house. I'm not really sure what this is for all of you, but typically, yeah, you need to break free. This is what a whole about break free. Your swords is mentally, but we're talking about taking full ass action. So, like, you know, I stayed in domestic violence. I stayed hidden in a room on the edge of a bed, praying for my mom or Jesus to get me out of this. There was nothing stopping me. It took me a lot of beatings and a couple of months before one day it dawned on me to ask for help. I had to go to my first shelter, but that was what I had to do to get out of there. And I look back and I should have done that so much sooner. I kept praying. I kept thinking someone was going to get me out of this. I literally had to get myself out of it. I had to get myself and my kids out of it. I thought that I was trapped. Only in my mind, bro. Only in my mind. So that's my testimony to it. You know what I mean? I was definitely one of those R. Kelly girls that could have walked out the door any day. I just kept there because I was mentally fucked. I mentally believed that I could not leave, that there wasn't another, I couldn't start all over. If I left, I wouldn't have nothing but me and the kids. Finally, that's all that mattered. Grab what you can, get the fuck out of here. None of this matters, just get out of here. Right? I was afraid of having to start over, but getting out was what I needed. I kind of regretted it, and that's why they usually lock down domestic violence people they'll take away your phone and keep it for usually 3 to 7 days so that you don't make that mistake. You regret it. You're like, you miss your home. As bad as it was, you missed what you considered was comfortability. You miss your own refrigerator. You miss your own things. Now you're in a community living, and you're like, fuck. You feel like one of them. You just want to go back. You really regret it. They usually take away your phone so you don't do shit like that, but most girls do. They'll fucking leave right away and go right back to it because they don't want to be in that kind of living environment. So that's another thing too, is like, you might get out, but still go right back. And you don't have to be in domestic violence. It just means, there's domestic problems. Domestic disputes, domestic issues is what I'm thinking this is, because based on nothing more than the cards I saw yesterday. What we pulled today, I'm like, none of that. We didn't talk about any of that. So let me read this card to you here. I'm going to read it in question form instead of the whole. Fine! Sorry, they just get so deep in these fucking cards. Cups. Swords. 7, 8. Quark confinement, color change. Quarks are fundamental particles within an atom that have both electrical charge and color charge. The latter has nothing to do with the actual color, but a naming convention to describe the way quarks are powerfully bound together by a strong force. Without color change, the strong force, atomic nuclei, would simply fall apart. The Eight of Swords represents a sense of being bound or confined by something overpowering. As this is an airy realm of swords, what binds us are thoughts or ideas rather than physical restrictions. We experience oppression and imprisonment, but also a dawning understanding that we have the key to our own freedom. See what I mean? Relationships, your mother's, like, I don't know, there's lots of different things. Like, I can't leave this person, I can't leave this job. It's their fears and restrictions of your own mind. That's breaking your karma right away. Breaking out, doing the things you believe you can't, but your heart is telling you to. Hey man, my divorce was hard. That was hard for me. As a Christian woman, I was still programmed to believe that I was breaking the law by divorcing him. I felt like I was giving up on God by giving up on him. that I didn't believe God could fix this anymore. It was really difficult for me. I'm gonna cry. It wasn't about losing him, it was about going against my faith. That was hard. Some things, bro. You're just like, I can't do this, but your heart is like, you gotta do this, bro. You've gotta do this. I didn't get here without a billion of those moments. A billion of those moments. I'm seeing Amanda, bro. I had a friend, and it's her daughter's birthday, and my spirit tells me first thing in the morning, tell her no, you're not going with them. And I'm like, Holy Spirit, she's gonna kick me out. It'll be okay. I tell her no, and she humiliates me and she kicks me out. I was really sad about that, but I realized that she had too much power, and she was going to do that to me anytime I ever told her no. But at this time, God prepared me for it. He told me it was going to happen, and he got me out of there before it happened some other time. And that's the story I kept telling myself and my kids as I walked away with such shame. Oh man, did she humiliate me because I wouldn't go be part of her daughter's birthday. You're such a fucking bitch. That's why nobody ever liked you in the apartments. You fucking ruin everybody's fucking day, you selfish cunt. Everything has to be about you. She made me feel so horrible because, you know what I mean? She threw up my past of how I acted in my apartments. She said that that was all my fault and why nobody liked me and all this shit. As she, you know, sat there screaming at me, and we're packing up our stuff and we're scared, we have nowhere to go, and it's all of this because God told me not to go with her on her little birthday party. It was harsh, bro. And then there's other times where God's like, go say this. Man, if I say this, they're never gonna talk to me again, God. He knows it. And he knows that that's best, because they were never good anyways to me. Yeah, bro, I've had a lot of those fucked up moments. I'm a crier, by the way. I didn't get here without letting the feelings out. I don't hold them in. At any moment, I can scream and cry, and those are repressed memories and feelings that I let out here. I alchemize them right here in front of everyone. Welcome to the show. But you gotta listen to your heart and make those really hard decisions. I was scared about coming back to Colorado. I'm always scared. But I gotta do what's right. What's right by my heart. Even though my mind is, and that's that R. Kelly. My mind's telling me, no, don't do this. Don't do this. My heart says I have to do this. It's hard. Your spiritual work at hand is to break yourself free. What happens if you do? What's the outcome? Drum roll, please. Oh. Ew. Justice. How do you know? Well, the scales are there. And then I see Saturn again. Wow. Well, I mean, that's pretty much how it works. That's a pretty cool definition right there. In the tarot community, that's a pretty setup. That's a sick setup right there. It's not judgment, it's justice, right? Yeah? That's not judgment. It's justice. Yep, Planck's constant. German physicist Max Planck was the first to use the term quanta in physics. He was trying to solve a problem concerning how heated objects give off electromagnetic waves. According to Newton's physics, when an object is heated, it should produce increasing amounts of radiation. However, what actually happens is that the radiation peaks at a certain point when it tails off rapidly. Planck explained this by dividing. Sorry, I'm seeing that sign again. I told you this sign. I was like, that looks like the H bar, but it's not. Look. Saturn. I saw it first in here before I learned it as Saturn. Sorry. I'm seeing signs again. Alright, anyways, move on. Planck explained this by dividing radiation into quanta, or little packets, giving each quanta a specific energy related to its frequency. Then came the clever bit. He came up with that sign, a new mathematical constant commonly referred to as h-bar. This very tiny number has gone on to play a huge role in the development of quantum theory. Using h-bar, Planck managed to demonstrate that only quanta with a certain amount of energy, not too much, not too little, contributed to the radiation produced by heating an object. Think of it as a currency. Banknotes come in certain amounts, quanta, 5, 10s, 20s. Other amounts of money exist, such as 3, 7, and 12, but you can only get banknotes in those quantities. Planck's constant helps us make sense of something otherwise seems paradoxical. Similarly, the justice card brings truth and clarity to the contradictory or confusing. It shines a cool light of objective truth, and what it reveals may not always be expected or wished for. Be careful what you wish for. Well, that's why I said this is an interesting feed here. As fate will have it, you are being asked to break free and balance the scales. Are you a victim? Perhaps. Perhaps you are, but in this case, you're only a victim by your mind. You can break free. They can say it could be a card of imprisonment, sometimes tarot readers use and shit like that. But no. Fate is asking you to break free, or it's about to trap you. And that's your justice. This is interesting. I mean, I have to play it both ways because that's how it plays. It's like, this is your karma. Your karma is either to be stuck, or it's your chance to break free and and balance it out. Otherwise, karma says that you're supposed to be strapped, and that is justice. And that's where these card readers are probably going crazy about people's karma. God's getting them. He's trapping them. He's cutting them off. He's putting up roadblocks. He's not letting them go forward. That's what that means. So it's trapped. You're stuck. You're stuck. And most of the time, how does God do that? Mentally, bro. Mentally. He can throw some shit at you, but we're ever resourceful, right? Like, keep it coming, Kobe. Watch me whip. Until he catches you in your mind. Then you're done. Then you're done. If you can't faith your way through it, you're done. It's your thoughts. You'll be trapped in your thoughts forever. That's that regret and all of that shit. This is very interesting how we pulled this, how I started the story about people and how they're very replaceable. And then we're talking about you need to break free of something. Are they people in your life that you need to break free from? I have many. In the beginning, it was my music. I had created a little bit of a community, I'd say a handful of people that I was very attached to, that I wanted to take on tour with me, and I wanted to blow up, and we could do shows together, and oh my god, we're gonna blow up Denver! Oh, they were fucking weak as fuck. As a matter of fact, God throw me on Hannah's page. Oh my god, is she so cringe? It's like the lack of confidence in her pictures, maybe, I don't know. It's like they try to pretend that they are this role, but you can see they're not, that they're just actors. She's trying to be a bad bitch. I guess. You're not a bad bitch. Why even pretend? Why do you even let them put the camera at that angle? That's not who you are. And I just want to point out, You are a whole Jewish ass girl, fucking completely you and Allie, what is wrong with you guys? You want to be American? How does that work? I'm trying to be over here all Christ-like. You guys want to be all fucking sinning Americans and shit, gun shooters and shit. Hey, I don't know. That's crazy. I mean, I gave you a lot of testimony, gave you some tears, gave you some direction on this. It is what it is. You want to end with an oracle card? I like these lately. I've been having fun with these. I mean, I bought them. Might as well use them, right? Which ones are we using? These. Now, I just want to point out that, like, I'm learning some stuff with these cards, right? Are you guys learning anything? It's the fucking atoms, bro. They're made up of so many particles. And they're called fucking quarks and leptons. And, see, he's testing me. What have you learned? I'm trying. It's a lot of information that I've never really took in. And that's where it's the repetition. The more you hear it, the more it'll start connecting. I'm like, oh, okay, I get this. I get what you're talking about. Sort of. Not really. What is this? MC squared? No, bro. I don't know what you're talking about. Einstein! You won't believe me, but I'm going to tell you anyways. My son is Einstein reincarnated. And I have Joan of Arc over here. He'll break the codes for me. I just have to teach him what I know, and then he'll teach me what he knows. He just needs to awaken his knowing, just like you guys. Alright, let's see what our oracle guidance is. Let's clarify it with an oracle card, as they say. Treasure Island. No. I mean, it sounds good and all. Damn, serendipity's on top. We got good shit, bro. What do you want? Treasure Island or serendipity? Let's go with Treasure Island. What's underneath? Clean it up. Which I did. Did you guys do your cleaning today? I did. I didn't want to. I was being a lazy ass bitch. What? I had to fold a bunch of laundry, vacuum, go through a bunch of shit. I did it all though. Did you? I did it all. It was beautiful. Did you guys clean up today? What's above that? Coming to the edge. We'll just jump. Not like off a bridge or anything. Alright, Treasure Island. Number 9. Christ Consciousness. 1 to 24. Time to take a nap. For sure. Always is. Number 9. 11? Nope. 9. I'm 33. Sending masters. Alright. The law of attraction brings dreams into fruition. The result of positive thinking makes manifest abundance appearing from nowhere, financial gains, and sharing good fortune. You've worked hard and acted upon your unwavering belief in abundance, and suddenly, in the midst of it all, you hit the jackpot. Well, I didn't today because there was no game to play, but I do have my lucky dollar to buy a ticket tomorrow. Really? Yeah. I'm supposed to win the lottery. I just have to buy a ticket. You've uncovered the map to buried treasure and tapped into unlimited potential within you. I gotta be honest, it's not really has anything to, as I drop the book. I'm not... The true potential, bro, is God. You guys you want to manifest a good life. You want to create a good life. My true potential is understanding that I don't have to create it. It's already been created for me. I just have to take the steps when guided. Really? Yeah. So in essence, I don't want, need, desire, fear, stress, worry where I'm going and what's happening. It's already created for me. I walk in the creation that is my life. In the essence, I always used to tell people, it's like, what steps would you take if you were in my steps? Show me. You want to live my life. You have the great ideas. You want to run my life. Fine. Show me how you would run my life. That's fine. Now, take my fucking shoes off, please, and come sit down and let's watch God run my life. I don't sit around waiting, not doing nothing. I have to sit around spend unbelievable amounts of time in devotion and prayer and listening to his bullshit all day. And we'll just call it that. But I have to take the actions that he says rather than the actions that I think are best. Because my thinking is only a stinking thinking. It's limited to what I think. Whereas he'll give me an idea I never thought of before. And that is far more resourceful than my own stupid thinking. So, my true power is not having to exert power. I can't fully make you understand that my kids' futures are secure without me having to get a fucking 401k. My daughter is going to be abundant and adventurous and a leader. My son is going to be abundant, recluse, and a scientist, and whatever they do, a leader, whatever. My new children will be, you know what I mean? Like, we don't have to chase for a place. We don't have to create abundance in our lives. It's already created with the lives that we took on. We just have to take the steps to that. It's our destiny to be abundant and prosperous. Why? So that we can share that abundance and prosperity with the world. Neither of us are greedy or shysty. We're very generous. We like the more the merrier. My daughter will take her talkies out, and which is a dangerous thing to do, and she will walk through this fucking building. And you know damn well every little Hispanic kid wants a fucking talkie. She does it just to be nice. You know what I mean? I don't really want to walk around with my pack of cigarettes offering and shit, but you know, certain things like that. And so my true power is not having to exert power, but just walking in the understanding of God's power. That's all I can say about that. What you must hone now is your ability to recognize X marks the spot, because some of these golden opportunities may be obvious, but others may not be so readily apparent. Trust your intuition to light your way now as either this truly prosperous as you enter this truly prosperous phase, where all along hard work navigating your inner life is now paying off externally. That's what I said. Your inner life, navigating your inner life. I just shared it. I'm attracting abundance. I'm not creating it or chasing it. I'm attracting it, which is what was always meant to be. I never had to be anything more. I just had to be a better version of me. In all aspects of your life at this time, you have good fortune. Don't forget to enjoy it and share it with others, as treasure shared multiplies in magic. Relationship. Your relationship is a treasure, proving even more than you need, but you may not see it right now. No matter how long you've been together, you and your partner are always discovering hidden gems about yourselves and each other. Now is a time of discovery. It is as if everything is in sync and everything is new again. Romance blooms and the love is in the air. You can be assured that your partner will bring you great gifts and valuable lessons. Keep your heart open. The message of this card is to celebrate love and what it teaches you. My love for them men taught the world how to love. It wasn't just me loving each of you, because each of you watched me love the other. And it taught you how to have understanding for my journey through love. Man, did it piss Russ off that I kept falling in love with other men. But he had to learn to understand it. That he couldn't fight these men, though he tried. That he couldn't compare to them. Why do you love them? I couldn't tell you either. It took time. But that was what it was about. Was just opening up to love. Marshall learned how to love by watching me love all of you. Many learned how to love as I learned to love you, individually, but collectively. Each of you taught me harder lessons of how to open up to deeper levels of love, to be more loving and less hating, less judgmental, less narrow-minded, less conditional. It wasn't just for you. I don't know what you did with it all. But it changed my world, and it changed others. I never stopped loving any of you. I gave you as much as I could, but then I had to go, as God said, and love another. There's more love to give. In the essence, you guys became drainers. You did nothing with it. You were just taking it and, I don't know, putting it in a secret, folder of screenshots or something. I don't know what you did with the shit. But it did change the world. It's a beautiful story. Prosperity message. At this time, you can be confident that success is yours. Your ideas are hitting the mark, and you are in a true manifestation period when you will see evidence of the seeds of prosperity you planted in the past. That's it. Harvest season, bitches. That's what llamas is. The appearance of this card in a reading indicates that your dreams and aspirations align with concrete signs of prosperity in the world of form. This is a very auspicious and fortunate time for business. Creative projects will flourish and inspiration strikes. Share your wealth with others too. Generosity and gratitude should lead you now. Protection message is where it comes. Poverty consciousness and a sense of not enough cast a shadow on your path. These ideas and core beliefs come with a high cost. Do you really want to proclaim yourself as a victim of disappointment or failed expectations? People traveled with a dream. I'm seeing the Titanic. He won a ticket to a new life and took nothing more than his clothes. Everyone. That whole thing sank. Their dreams kind of sank into the water. Some of them made it. Molly Brown has a house here. All that. The Venezuelans, the Mexicans, everyone, all the immigrants, you leave with what you have. And what do you have? A heart full of hope and dreams that you'll make it. I don't know. We'll find food, we'll find house, we'll find it when we get there. And that goes back to even having a dream of being a celebrity and moving to California. You didn't have nothing but, you know what I mean? What you had, and that had to be enough. Your dream in your heart and faith is what gets you there. Are you avoiding success because you will grow so tall that others will cut you down? Or is it possible that you're caught in the fear that you will lose what you've acquired? So you hold so tight that you miss opportunities to expand? You could say that. God told me not to take that opportunity to expand. And the real is, you guys want it. We've already talked about this all week. You want your destiny, and you want it now, and this is your destiny. You're on your way to wherever you're supposed to be going, but these are the steps. You got to take the steps, bro. You can't just, I don't know. You are challenged to change the way you see the world and move from a perception of limitation, that's that Eight of Swords, to a perception of abundance. Take a risk, for you have nothing to lose except your commitment to in a prison of your own making. Ooh, that's that Wheel of Fortune, bro. Take the risk. And what's going to happen if you break free? Everything will work out. That's judgment. That's that justice. Truth and justice for all. Open the door and find the abundance waiting for you to claim it. Just like Marilyn Monroe and, my failed marriages. If I didn't let them fail, I was never going to have a future. If I didn't accept that they were failures, I was never going to have a fucking future. My first one was real hard. He was my first boyfriend. I had his kids. I married him. I stayed with him for 8 years. He's all that I knew. He was all that I knew. And everybody knew I was his. So it's not like I could leave him and go find someone else, which I did in the other neighborhoods. Are you dating guys from the rival neighborhoods? Are you dating the Sutreses and the East and the fucking Southeast boys? No, maybe. Are you dating his enemies? Maybe. In the essence, no. It was twice as hard. It was twice as hard the first time. But it wasn't going to work. I just spent all my life miserable with these guys. I spent too many years miserable. I wouldn't accept that and I was a faithful Christian, you know, in my second one, that I kept praying. I fasted. I did everything, dude. I married him so that God would bless it. Stopped having sex. Stopped smoking weed. I did everything so that he would just fix this fucking relationship so my kids could have a father. Damn it. That is not how this works. Sacrificing yourself in the hopes of happiness for someone else is not your fucking future, bro. He's never gonna honor that shit. He's never gonna honor that shit, bro. He's never gonna honor that. Why? Because you're important. You're asking your father to care more about someone else than you. He's never gonna honor that shit, bro. You're his child, and he cares about your feelings. He cares about your happinesses. He cares about theirs too, but you gotta understand, it's individual between you and him, but it's also individual between them and him. But you're important too. It's not like you have to fight for his love. It's that he loves you. Not more, not less. There's absolutely nothing you can do that's going to make God love you less than anybody else or more than anybody else. It's an equal measure of love for all. You're like, damn, he has to have a lot more forgiveness with Lilith. No, he doesn't. He doesn't love Christ more than he loves Lilith. He doesn't love Christ more than he loves Lucifer. Let that sink in. And in the essence, who suffered more? Lucifer or Christ? Uh-huh. 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 God loves you. You gotta love you. That's what that says. And, you know, show some respect to people along the way, too, because you might, you know, they might lose you. That's a great song. And in the essence that you might make a very huge mistake and lose the love of your life, if you love something, let it go. If it's yours, it'll come back. If not, it was never meant to be. You can't truly lose something that's meant for you. You really can't. You know? So, there's your message. New peoples. We're going to keep doing this, I think, for 10 days. We're going to be pulling out shadows and shit. So, tomorrow's Mercury. That'll be about communications. How do you break free? Through communications. They're going to challenge my communications, I'm sure, too. I don't really know, like, that's the thing, is, like, I get these relationships, and then I see that it's going to take too much work to keep this going, and I'd rather just, forget it. I'm really bad about putting in effort to maintain a relationship with a person that doesn't put in effort. If I feel like you're doing it, then I'll do the work too, but I'm not going to work for both of us. This doesn't work for me. I'll work really hard at relationships that are being, you know what I mean? I feel if you're doing that much, I got to do that much, like I want to match that, but I don't want to. I give up on relationships because they're not being fed, and I talked about this the other day, is like, if you're not taking the time to tend to your relationships, you're going to lose them. And that might be where some of you guys are, is, you know, they no longer value your time and your energy like they used to. And so now you have to have, you know, you have to have some more value about your time and energy and take it, you know, save it for yourself. I wouldn't say give it to another, but save it for yourself. Maybe you've given too much of your time and energy to other people, and it's time to just give some to yourself. I have to do that a lot. Nobody's giving me time and energy. I gotta love myself. Nobody's got the time to love me. Hey, I love you guys, though, and I will catch you guys mañana. Laters, haters. Oops, wrong button.